Okay, today we shall go through a little bit more of our N-level 2021 paper 2 section B. Y'all can hear me, right? Yeah, only got the two of you here. Okay, so if y'all can hear me, y'all give me a reaction, okay?
Yes.
Should be okay, good. Okay, let's continue. Now this is a box and whiskers plot. You'll notice 2003, 2001, both of the section B all test box and whiskers plot. Okay, so it can be coming out quite recently, so you need to make sure you know how to do. You'll find the median mass, this one shouldn't be much of a problem. Interquartile range should be much of a problem. So let's take a look in which post office are the parcels heavier on average. When you are talking about things that are heavier and it's on average, they give you a clue to this question already on average. So it means we use the compare the median. Okay, for box and whiskers plot, there is no mean, so we can only compare median. So if I want the one that is heavier on average, so I need to compare with the higher median value. So our parcel median for A is 3.7, while the median for B is slightly lower. B is about 3.3. So you compare the median for A and the median for B. Median A is bigger, so therefore heavier. Okay, all right. Okay, those of you who just attended, we are going to go through 2021 paper 2 section D first. Okay, so this one already here I was mentioning this keyword down here means comparing on average. So for box and whiskers plot, we compare the median. So we say which median is heavier would be bigger. So therefore it will be parcel A, post office A. And please do state the values. Okay, next one, in which post office are the masses more consistent? So this one now the keyword over here is consistent. So very obviously for consistent, right, we compare the interquartile range, right? A smaller interquartile range will have a higher consistency, meaning all the numbers are more or less packed together, very similar to each other, so be more consistent. So for post office B, it'll be more consistent, okay, because the interquartile range of post office B is 2.6, is actually smaller. You observe that this part is narrower, okay, compared to this one. This one is a bit wider. Here. So in this case, so we have this part of the answer. To compare consistency, we use the interquartile range. Okay, this one especially Elise. Elise, are you okay with this portion now? Slightly better.
Yes.
Yes, okay, hopefully get it correct. Okay, then I go on to the next part of the question. Now this is the without replacement, a probability tree diagram, it says without replacement, meaning the number we take, right, will become smaller and smaller. At first, I got 5 black ball and 3 white ball. So when I first started off, I will have 8 balls. So you notice whenever I have my first pick, the denominator is 8, the denominator is also 8. Whenever I pick my first ball. So if let's say I pick my first ball is black color, there are 5 of them which are black, and then I want a white color, 3 of them which are white. So usually the first sorry, okay, for the first bracket, right, first one when you pick the first ball, it should be quite okay for you to pick. But now the question is the second part, right? The moment I took out one ball from here, I take out one ball, so one ball is being taken out already. So when I take out one ball, right, and I'm assuming that the first ball I'm taking out is a black, the number of black balls will decrease to 4 black balls. Okay, so the number of black balls will decrease to 4 black balls, and white balls still stays as 3, so the denominator is 7. So you notice when I choose the second ball, all the denominator here are over 7. Okay, so I'm taking my first case. If I choose take out one black already, I'm left with only 4 black. So in this case over here, you have 4 black and 3 white. So you can complete your tree diagram easily, okay, by indicating you know the total number, right? After I take out what is the number? So my total 7. Then I have 4 and, okay, 4 black and next one, similarly, if now let's say I ignore the case, I didn't take out black, I take out a white instead. So my second case is now from 3 white ball, I took out 1, left with only 2 white ball now. So it'll be 5 black, 2 white out of a total 7. So as you can see, denominator is all 7. I'm left with 5 black ball, 2 white balls. Okay, so this one is my probability tree diagram. Next one, find the probability that the balls are of different color. Now, probability, we need to remember n is, what do you do with the probability when it's n? Y'all can type out the answer. You can tell me, what do you do with probability? Yes, n equals to times. Or, then you'll be plus.
Plus.
Yes, correct. Right? So these are the cases. So when do we do and or? The first case that we look at is, for example, a different color, right? So I can have black and white. Okay, so this is the first possible case. Or a different case. These two cases cannot happen at the same time, so it's not and, it's all. So these or these, white and black. So first ball I took, there are 8 of them. Okay, after I take out 1, denominator left 7. Same thing, first ball I take, there are 8 of them. After I take out 1, there's left 7. I want the black ball followed by the white ball. Black, 5/8 times the white, 3/7. So 5/8 times 3/7. The next one, I want the white ball followed by the black ball. White followed by the black ball, 5/7. So 3/8 times 5/7, then you get your answer. Okay, is this part still okay? You all know how to fill in the probability tree diagram? Although the pattern now seldom come out this kind, but you never know lah, huh? Right? The ones that now are coming out more frequently are like table type. Later then I show you some other possible questions, okay? Next question. All right, this one over here, if you choose to do question number 12, you need to do the trigonometry. Now, this part over here, first thing we need to take note in our diagram, we have all 3 lengths. When there's only 3 lengths, it means directly I need to find, if I want to find any angle, I need to use the cosine rule, but the one that need to do swap, divide, and inverse in order to find one of the angle. Okay, another thing to take note, I noticed this and this have one pair of angles. I have only this angle here. If I need to, I need to find the other side. Okay, if I want to find this length, I'll need to find what is this angle. Then to take this angle, I can take 180 minus 86 minus 29 degree. Okay, this is me when I first look at a question. I have not started doing the question, but I already interpret and think of what are the skills that are relevant to it. Okay, so these are some of the skills that I need to know. Next thing, okay, question says shows that the acute angle ABC. If I'm looking for this angle ABC, I must start with the side using cosine rule, the side opposite to me. So the side opposite to me will be the side 287. So if you start with this side, it will be 287 square. C square equals to A square plus B square minus 2AB cosine C. So this is my cosine rule. See, I start with the side opposite the angle. Okay, opposite the angle that you want down here. Right? Then what do you do next? You swap this whole thing with this portion, swap it around so that I can get this one here. Then I do not want the 2AB, so I divide it away. Last but not least, I don't want cosine, so I do cosine inverse. Are you all okay with part A? If you're okay with part A, then maybe you can indicate. Yes. Okay, confirm. Next one, calculate CD. CD, where is CD? CD is over here. So CD matches with the angle 29 and 287 with this angle 86. Now, how do I know I need to use the sine rule when I cannot have two angles and one side? Two side and one angle, so I cannot use cosine rule. Okay, so in this case must be sine rule. I think you all are very good, fantastic at doing sine rule lah, so I don't really need to go through this one, correct? Okay, so just make sure you can get the answer. Now the next part is bearing. Okay, the moment you see bearing, right, whatever is it not, imagine you have all the North Pole and the North Pole. First thing you must use is all the interior angles. All the interior angles. Look out for all the interior angles that you may need. So whenever it's talking about bearing, draw all your North Pole, North, right? Then you mark the interior angles that you need to find. Okay, then they want the bearing, they give you the bearing of port D from A is 126. D from A, from the point A, right? From the point A, D from A, all from north all the way to the point here over here. So this whole angle is 126, right? This whole angle is 126. Then what other angle do I need to find? Bearing of port D from C. I want the D from the C now. Okay, so what I actually do, right? First thing, if I know this is a pair of interior angles, okay, I may not even need to find any angle. This one is 126. Using the interior angles, the angle over here will be how much? Can you help me? How to find this angle? What's this angle over here?
180 minus.
Correct. So yes, Lin said answer is 54. Then if that is the case, how much is the one over here, this side?
86 minus 54.
86 minus 54, that gives you, I don't have my calculator. No, 86 minus 54.
32.
32 degree. So if this is 32 degree, based on another pair of interior angles, what will be this angle? Another one more pair of interior angle. So this one will now be 180 minus 32 degree, correct? 180 minus 32 is how much? 148, is it? I cannot remember. I think so. Is it
Yeah.
148? Okay, then now I want to find the bearing of D from C. Let's go in the clockwise direction. So how do I find this angle now? Okay, take 360 minus away 148. You get your answer. Okay, or alternatively, some of them they like to do alternate angles. You got 32, right? Then you draw alternate angles and you got one straight line. 180 plus 32 also can get the answer. Okay, so this one you can go and see. So usually when I do this one, right, I will draw a lot of the interior angles. So if you want 32, this one is also 32. Then you got your 180 over here, add together, also can get the answer. Okay, so for bearings, right, not necessary that every time you must do sine rule and cosine rule. You might want to know which angle you need to find first. And at first, write down all the interior angles, find all the relationship. Then you'll be able to identify the angles easier. Is this okay? Can? Okay, if you are okay, then I shall go through the other mock practice paper already. Can or? Can? Oh, no sign. Okay. Okay, okay, thank you. All right. Now, I do not know which questions you all want, so I'm going to go through some of the questions that they have asked me. Okay, this question, most of you get it correct. A few of you got it a little bit wrong. Now, there was a couple of you who did this and you put 4 directly. Okay, but you rounded it off okay, to 4.16, then you round off to become 4. Sorry, you should not be doing that. You need to round off the number first. So each of them, for your information, this is 900, this is not 900.00. If I want one sig fig, I do not want extra single figures at the back. Okay, then this one is the number 2. Because it's rounded off to 2 already, then I use the number 2 to make calculations. And then this is the number 0.3. Obviously, you can get your answer, I think, quite easily. So you're going to work out your answer. Okay, just to take note, this one don't have 0, 0. This one round off first, then square the number. Okay, this one shouldn't be much of a problem. Most of you got the answer, so I'm not going to go through unless any one of you need it. Question number 3, find the value in 2019 first. Use that value in 2019 to find the value in 2020. So it's related to each other. So you cannot just take the percentage and add together. Okay. Next one, construct a triangle. This one you need to use your compass to draw the length. And this is 9 cm. Oh, I forgot mine. Okay. Now, of course, majority of you managed to find the area of the triangle using, we can use half AB sine C. Okay, that is only if the question did not ask for a specific method. But now the question did ask for a specific method. They want you to measure the shortest distance from point C to line AB. Where is point C to line AB? Point C here, cut through directly to line AB and 90 degree. So this number will be approximately 5.2 cm if you draw accurately enough. Then the area of triangle using this method will be half times 12 times 5.2. Okay? But if the question never say so, they just say, hence calculate the area of triangle, then you can use half AB sine C. Okay? Next one, okay. This question, this one, majority of you got the answer correct. So let's just look through the answer over here. I have x plus 2 whole thing square. Maybe anyone can give me the answer. Okay, Zuliana, can you help me finish up the working? I have x plus 2 square, but there's this part. What do I need?
-4, -5.
Correct, very good. So in this case, I have x plus 2 whole thing square minus 9. Thank you. Observe the question. This is a square. This is plus b. If I look at my value for a is the number 2. No problem. Correct. But what is the value for b? B is with a sign. B is the number -9. So please do not just write 9 in this case. Right? If they put minus b, then b will be just the number 9. But if it's not, then we need to write down. Okay? Now, how do we use this to draw graph? To make sketches of our graph. Oops, it's also okay. How the question say hence sketch the graph, right? Now, when you have the completed square form, it will help you to read the turning point directly. Okay, can you write for yourself and write down from here the turning point is easily made up of the two coordinates over here. The first one, the y value is the number -9. Just like that, just bring down. Then the second value, what is this number over here, this turning point over here? This whole thing only becomes -9 if and only if the first part over here becomes 0. So the turning point happens when x plus 2 equals to 0. So x will be equals to the number -2. So this answer will be the number -2. Okay, there are some types of question. If you look at our trending questions on, I think it's part 4, or it's not. If not, it's part 5. They can give you the completed square form, and then they ask you to write down the turning point directly. Okay, so you must learn that portion of the skills as well. Okay, I'll try to go through the that trending questions a bit later. when we have time. Okay, if not, then we'll just focus first. So from here, they only want the turning point and the y-intercepts. The question did not ask for the x-intercept. If you want the x-intercept, you can solve, put this equal to 0, and you shift over and you solve for the two x-intercepts. But in this case, they never asked for the x-intercept, so I don't need to think about it, worry about it. Okay, so now what am I going to do? If I want to sketch, I need to draw, hey, -2, -9. So I will need more of a negative axis. I'm going to draw more of a negative axis. And I need a -9. So I'll need more negative number. So I have x value and y value. Okay, I need first -2, then -9, maybe all the way below. This is my turning point. If this is my turning point, I will have a line of symmetry along here. Next thing to check, what is the x square? Is it positive or negative? Positive, right? Is it happy or sad face? Positive x square. Happy face, correct. If it's a happy face, is it a maximum or minimum point? This is a minimum point. So in this case, right, if I were to have this turning point and I know that it's a happy face, then I just need to draw. Draw something that looks more symmetrical lah. So I just need to draw. Immediately I get my 2 points ready. You know, but they did say state the y-intercept. When is the y-intercept? Y-intercept is when x is equals to 0. You sub x equals to 0 into your equation. Y equals to 0 squared plus 4 times 0 minus 5. So y is straight away the number -5. Answer. So actually, I just need two things. When I see this is a happy face. Do not care which position I draw. As long as I draw a happy face, immediately I get 1 mark. Next thing, from my completed square form, they say hence, right? I read my turning point correctly. So I make sure I draw the graph that passes through the turning point. Then I get my 2 marks. But since they add additional, they say they want the y-intercept, I find the y-intercept, I get 1 more mark. Like that, I'll get 3 marks. Normally in exam is 2 marks lah, but sometimes you'll get 3 marks. Okay, any questions from here? Do you need me to repeat anything? Y'all okay or not? Y'all okay, then y'all give me a signal. Like, sure, you understand what's happening, Like that, then I ask you, y'all raise up your hand, say y'all know, right? Then I give you an example. Okay, if my equation is x minus 3 square, minus 10. Tell me what is the turning point?
Is it -10?
The y value is -10, correct? Then what about the x value?
Or 3?
Yes, correct. So the turning point will be just 3, -10. Then this one, the x is happy face or sad face? You see x squared, happy face or sad face?
Happy.
Yes. So I just need to draw a happy face, make sure my minimum point, x is 3, y is -10, then I can get my marks ready. If they want to check for the y-intercept, I just plug in the equation. Okay, so this one example, you all know, right? Then when do we have sad face? When do we have sad face? When the x square is what? If the x square is negative, then we will have sad face, correct or not? So for example, I give you negative, okay, x plus maybe +5 minus 6. Okay, This one, the value is still the same, -6. This, square. This happens when this whole thing equals to 0. So the answer will be -5. But this negative sign here only tells you this is a set phase. It does not affect the minimum value. Okay, it does not affect any of the values here. This set phase only tells you that it's this negative sign only tells you that it's a set phase. That's all. Okay, but this one is seldom tested. Okay, next part. Oops, Xingren got disconnected. Okay, the distance between, a lot of you wrote gradient formula. Those who submitted for me to do marking, you all did gradient formula instead. Can you please write down the distance between 2 points formula? Distance between 2 points is given by x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y squared. Remember it that it looks something like a Pythagoras theorem, something square plus something square. So it's like something like a Pythagoras theorem. Then inside is like a gradient, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Okay, so if we have this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2. Can somebody help me with the equation? Square root. What number minus what number square?
-3 minus 2 square plus k minus 5 square.
Thank you. Equals to square root 29. Now, when we are in this kind of situation, you notice there's a square root here, there's a square root here. What can the two square root counter off? If they can counter off each other, right? So the square root can just disappear and be the number 29. Then this one, don't be too rushed to expand it. Keep it factorized. It looks something like how you deal with the numbers using using completing square method, okay? Then we calculate. This is just a number. -3 minus 2 is -5. -5 whole thing square become the number 25. Okay? Do not expand this first. What can I do to the number 25? I can shift it over, right? So for this portion, I keep, don't expand it. I shift this over. Then I get k minus 5 whole thing square is 29 minus 25, which is 4. Now, then you are doing it like you're completing square method. So k minus 5 equals to 2 or -2 plus or minus square root. Then you get your answer. Bring over 2 plus 5 or -2 plus 5. Answer. Is this okay? You're okay with this one? Take a look. Do you need me to explain any part of it again? First part, you must memorize this formula. Okay, then you plug in the numbers. Get rid of the square root. Both of them have square root. Then calculate. Shift over. Then you do like your completing square method. Can? Okay, give me a signal. Then I move on to the next question already. Can I? Okay, good. Next question. How to do this? Right, I think most of you who submitted your work to me, you all know that I need to change the base for my 8. No problem. The 8 changed to 2 to the power of 3. But then you have a cube root and then outside still got a 2. Then inside here still got a 2. Right? Do you notice that 8 cube root of 2 cube, what does it become? The cube root and the cube will cancel with each other. Becomes, is there any more cube? No more. So it's just 2 to the power of, it's just 2 to the power of 2. So if I have this 8 cube, cube root, not 8 cube, cube root, 2 cube and cube root, this one gives me 2 to the power 1. Okay, then if that's the case, therefore, denominator and denominator is the same. No, the base and the base is the same. The power must be equals to each other. So this one will be 2 minus 3. Answer x will be equals to -1. Okay? Oh. Okay, next one. Let me continue, okay? Next part, sine of this is an obtuse angle. Oh, this one, try not to use the calculator and put decimal inside answer. Directly key everything into your calculator. This one, the one that we're looking for, x is an angle. So I want an angle. So I need to do sine inverse. So x equals to sine inverse the whole thing. Keep the whole thing inside. Uh, can you tell me what's the answer? I've forgotten already. What's my answer? And then my calculator to my students. So what's the answer? Oh, 60 degree. Since they want the obtuse
180 minus 60.
correct. 180 minus 60 equals to 120. Okay. Then the next one, this one many people make many mistakes. There are a couple of you give me 127 degree. That is you're looking for the angle, but the question is not looking for angle. Observe carefully. If the question say find y, then y is an angle, but they want cosine y. Cosine y is actually a fraction. Cosine is Cosine of an angle is adjacent over the hypotenuse. Observe, this angle y over here is obtuse. When it's obtuse for cosine, I must add a negative sign. If you cannot remember, is this table acute, obtuse, sine, cosine, and tangent. Sine is both, is all this side. Only cosine is negative. Okay, tangent is also negative, but they seldom test tangent, not in the syllabus. So the one they will test is always the cosine of the obtuse angle. Okay, so in this case, y itself don't have the right angle triangle over here, right? So you look for the body, the one beside it. Look for the body. So in this case, based on this angle, this one will be adjacent hypotenuse. So I'll take 3 over 5. The answer will be adjacent, which is 3 over 5. But I have a negative value because it's an obtuse angle. Obtuse angle is a negative value. So for this one, Nelly, you got the answer. Almost there, you wrote the answer. But then you went to do extra steps to help yourself find the angle. So you must interpret the question correctly. Can? Okay, are you all okay with this now? Can good. Okay, the rest, okay, can? If you are okay, then I'll move on. This one, I think most of you know how to do. This question. Okay, most of you, you might have done until this step, but I need you to check something. Is there any more common factors here? There's some more common factor here, right? Can you tell me what's the common factor?
3.
3, right? 3 is the common factor. Okay, just a word of caution. Just remember and highlight. Some of you might make careless mistake. This one is +3, okay? Make sure when you do it, make sure you do it correctly. So this one here, there's a common factor 3. So I need to factorize out a 3 and give you a minus 2 over 18. 3 and 18 can cancel away to give you 6. So the answer will be a minus 2 over 6. That's the final answer. So many of you will answer this step, but you never checked, and then you didn't end up with the answer. Okay, next one. This one most of you are able to do. Okay, Lynn had a request for this question. I have 1 liter of bottle of syrup, but you notice syrup is only 25 ml per mixture that I mix. So if I have 1 liter, how many times can I make such a mixture? So if I have 1 liter, I can make 4 times. And then if I have 4 times, that means I also need 4 times of the soda water to mix the syrup, to use up everything. So I take 4 times 500, give me 2 liter. Okay, Lynn, is this okay already? You understand what the question is asking about already? Is the language what the question is asking, right? You not that you don't know how to do. Okay? Can? Lynn, okay not? Lynn can okay, you raise your hand means okay. Next question. This one normal, but careless mistake here and there. First thing, how to get rid of the cube root? Anyone help me?
Bring to other side cube.
Correct. Yes. So s cube equals to t plus 4 over t minus 2. Then what do we do? Next step,
Cross multiply.
cross multiply. Thank you. You are the only one who will answer me now. The rest all keep it quiet. Okay. Okay, then we expand this s cube t minus 2s cube t plus 4. But I want to make t my subject. So this is the t. Maybe Kimmy can help me. Kimmy, can you help me? What do I do with the others?
You bring over the t.
Correct. So this one is minus t, yeah. This is 4, and this one I bring over here is plus 2s cubed. Now, many of you not very sure when you factorize out what to do. Both of them have a letter t. If you are not sure, this number here, add a number 1. 1 times t is still 1, correct? Right? So now I need to factorize out my letter t. Basically, can you help me do the factorization? What am I left with in my bracket? I'm in the library. Oh, you can type out the answer. I'll get s cubed. Then minus 1. Yes, correct. Okay. S cubed minus 1. This will be 4 plus 2s cubed. So the majority of the careless mistake is only this part that you all forgot to put the number minus 1. Okay, then you're going to divide away the whole bracket. Then this one will be your answer. So not much of a big deal, just that some of you forget the number. Okay, and then some of you, when you move around the sign a little bit wrong. Can? This part should be okay, right? Okay, next one. Find the value of x and y. This one you'll do your prime factorization. Shouldn't be a problem. Now, how do you take 2,000 times a number that is a multiple of 14? What is 2,000? 2,000 is 2 to the power of 4 times 5 cubed. What are the factors of 14? If I need it to be a multiple of 14, I need all the factors of 14 to be inside. 14 is made up of 2 times 7. There is already a factor 2, many factor 2's inside. But the one that is missing is the number 7. Okay, the number 7. But they say square root m is the number that you want. So it means 7 equals to square root of m. I want to get the number for m. I square the 7. Answer will be 49. Is this part okay? If I want it to be a multiple of 14, meaning all the factors of 14 must be inside. So 7 must be inside. So that number I need multiply should be 7. But it says square root m. So 7 is actually square root m. Then 8m will become 49. Okay, are you okay with the part 2? Okay, this one there's a slight change in the question. This one needs to be p is a positive integer and p to power 4 should be on the top. Okay, because I cannot have a denominator, something that is a non-integer, non-integer to be a perfect square. So it has to be on top. Now, what exactly is this? 2,000 over 5 times p to power 4. 2,000 is 2 to the power of 4 times 5 cubed, divide by 5, and then p to the power 4. If I have this part over here, 5 cubed and 5 can cancel away. It becomes 2 to the power 4 times 5 square. times p to power of 4, where you notice all the powers of the factors where all the powers of these factors over here are multiple of 2. So when it's all the powers are multiple of 2, therefore this number, whatever that this is given, is a perfect square. Is this okay now? So you need this one, you need to process and write down this. We are looking for this actually. So you need to give me this part of the working. Okay? Those of you who needs me to explain again, let me know. Is it okay? If it's okay, you give me a signal. Okay, I explain again like that. Okay, 1 or 2. All right. Take the 2000, the original factors, the original prime factor is 2 to power 4 times 5 cubed. Analyze when I divide by 5, what happens? So when I divide by 5 over here, 5 cubed and 5 divide become 5 square. So I get this part, 5 square. And then p to power 4, whatever integer, as long as the power of 4 is already a perfect square. So therefore, where all the powers of the factors are even power multiple of 2, therefore it will be a perfect square. Okay? Okay, then I move on next question already. Next question. This one, most likely not a problem. This one, some of you just take note. This is the K term, so the letter N changed to K. And some of you never write the keyword not an integer, right? So this is your number pattern sequence. Most of you can do. Okay, this question, a request to go through this question, number 14, just to double check. Okay, maybe Lynn, you can help me to find how to find the area of the trapezium, the formula.
Half A plus C.
Oh, yeah, also in library, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, you can type out on, never mind. Okay, half 9 plus 12 times the 10. This one, what was my area? 105, I think. Yeah, correct. 105 cm squared. Okay. Then they say the next part, the height, I do not know, is just a letter H. And the area of the trapezium to the area of triangle is 5 to 3. So I know 5 units represent 105 cm squared. I'm going to find 3 units to find the area, okay, of my triangle. And I work out that will be 105 divided by 5 times 3, 63 cm squared. Then I take area of triangle. Area is half times the base times the height. The area now is the number 63. I plug that in. Base of the triangle, half times base is the number 10 and the height is h. Then we work backwards. So 63 times 2 divided by 10, you get your answer. Amalina got this correct. I think so. Nelly made a careless mistake. Okay? Can? Okay, okay, I go on to next question already. Can? Okay? Can Next one, this one I assume you all know how to do. Question number 16. Nobody asked me for question 16. Okay, but question number 16. P is directly proportional K times 3Q squared. This one, you got to be a bit careful. The number 3 does not have a square. The number 3 don't have the square. The one that have a square is the P. It is the Q. So Q is the only one that has a square over here. So when you write on the later part of it, right? You follow the pattern, you better make sure you change only the Q to brackets. Okay, it's known that P equals to 8, so 8 equals to K times 3Q squared. We leave it as this, no problem. Find the value of P new. Follow this pattern, K times 3. Change the letter Q to a pair of brackets, holding square. Can you do this? Right? Follow exactly this pattern, P equals to K times 3. Except for the letter Q, change it to a pair of brackets, square. Next one, the question say Q is double. Now I place Q becomes 2Q. Place it inside that square, that bracket. Okay. Then you get your answer. K times 3. 2 square is the number 4. Q square. Then I check. All this number over here replaced by the number 8. All this over here replaced by the number 8. Then times 4. Answer. Okay. So it's just algebra. Now, if you understand this, or maybe you don't understand this, I'm going to teach you one shortcut. No calculation, just logical deduction. Okay. If the question says it is directly proportional to Q square, and the thing is doubled, right? The question says directly proportional to Q square and it's doubled, right? Meaning if it's doubled, if it increase, then your value for the new value will also increase, right? So I take my original 8 value, doubled, right? So I times 2. But there is a power here, square. So I times 2 square. Straight away I get my answer 8 times 4, 32. Without doing all the working. All these no need to do. Okay, directly proportional means multiply, right? Okay, so if I give you another value, let's say the value is P equals to 10 for a particular value of Q. Find the value of P when Q is triple. How to find the answer? Take the value 10 is directly proportional, correct? So I multiply. The thing is triple, right? So I times 3. But there is a power here, square. So I times 3 square. Then I get my answer. Okay? So this one is the shortcut. No algebra involved. Then maybe you might ask, how do I find inversely proportional? So I'm going to tell you P is inversely proportional to whatever square lah. Okay, I don't care. Maybe inversely proportional to x squared, for example. Okay, then they tell you P equals to 8 for a particular value of Q. Find the value of P when this particular value of x is doubled. How do I do this question? Okay, what I can do, I take 8, inversely proportional. Directly proportional, I times, right? Inversely proportional, I divide. So I divide. X is double, so I divide by x 2 times. And there is a power here, square, divide by 2 square. You get your answer. Okay? Okay, I give you another example. P is inversely proportional to x cubed. Okay, P equals to a particular, it equals to 27. Don't want 27. Okay, 28. Don't want 27. Maybe I put 64. Okay, anyhow, okay. For a particular value of X, find the value for P when X is doubled. How to do? Take the value 64, inversely proportional, so I divide, double, so divide by 2, but there's a power, divide by 2 cube. You will get your answer. Okay, so I'm teaching you something new today. Usually we should not be teaching this, but it's if for those students who cannot understand how to get the working, this is another different type of working where you do without algebra at all. Okay, so you want in the future questions, when you see, you can try out this one and you can go back and do your training series question and test whether is it really true or not. Okay, so this one is just sidetrack a little bit and teach you additional shortcut. Okay, next one, find the mode. A lot of you never write the word letters. There's a unit to it, so this is your data value is letters. Next one, to find the mean. A couple of you didn't manage to find the mean. You observe that this is your data value. This is all your data value X. The frequency over here is 3, 4, 6, 5, 2, and 4. So I must first find fx. So I take 0 times 3 is 0. I find my fx. 1 times 4 letters, so 4. 2 times 6, 12. 3 times 5, 15. 4 times 2, 8. 5 times 4, 20. Find the sum of fx. So this is your sum fx. The sum of fx in this case will be equals to 59. Okay. And then how many apartments are there in total? You add up the total frequency over here, you'll get 24. So mean is take this 59 over 24. Sum fx over sum f. All right. Those of you who use the calculator directly, no problem. Okay. But if you notice that, just a word of caution, if you notice that in the exam, the teacher actually asks you for 2 marks, you might need to show a working. So you can read your calculator OPTN, right? Actually, it does have this fx function. Not when you press OPTN, there's this numbers inside. You can also write down the working if you need to. If not, you're very confident of your answer, then you just write your answer, then it will give you the mark directly. Okay. Next one, at least a third, at least 1/3. So they are counting the total fraction. Okay, they want a particular fraction. So my total number of apartments was 24 apartment out of the total frequency over here. So the total frequency is 24, right? I want how many apartments have fewer than 2 letters. So 2 is not included, 0 and 1. Only 0 and 1, that gives you 3 plus 4, which is 7. Now notice 1/3 of 24 is 8. 7 over 4 is lesser than 1/3 of the apartment. So is the statement correct? So the statement is incorrect. Okay, is this okay? Can Next one. Now reading this table, I'm quite surprised some of you don't really know how to read the table very well. For bus number 109, it started at terminal, okay, and then it traveled 1 hour 55 minutes. So it's not a top-down relationship, it's per row, okay. So in this case, I have my answer. Find the time taken for bus B to travel from terminal A to B. For bus B, bus 95 will be this one. So you take terminal A and B, these 2 timing. Okay, and you should get this. Now they want speed in kilometers per hour. This is already in kilometer. So I left to change my hours over here. this one change to hour. So 45 over 6. Then distance divided by speed, distance divided by time to give you the hour. I try not to write inaccurate number, so I wrote it in fraction. Okay, if not, you can write 3 decimal places. 3 sig figs, sorry, not 3 decimal places. This one is also relatively simple, only testing you whether do you know how to read the table. Difference means subtract population in Pakistan and China, subtract away each other, then change to standard form. Most of you know how to do, no problem. This one also not a problem, but I want to highlight, okay, the turning point. How do we know that this is the turning point? We cannot have something that's straight or flat, so we have to look for the point in between. Between 0 and 1, how do you find the equation of line of symmetry? We take the 0 and the 1, add together, divide by 2. But this 0.5 is a number, is not an equation. What do I need to add to it to make it an equation? Which axis does it cut? Anyone? Hello? What do I need to add here? It cuts which axis? Yes, x equals 2. So please make sure you put in the number x equals 2. So from here, your line of symmetry, the turning point, obviously this is 0.5. Read from your graph. Actually, I did a calculation over here. I put 0.5 square minus 0.5 minus 5. It gave me 5.25. So the actual answer is 5.25. So that means the teacher will accept a value between negative 5.25 and negative 5.2 to negative 5.3. So in exactly for me, I did a negative 5.3. Okay, so just I think they will accept lah, but I can't put 5.25, so I'll do 5.3 then, because my graph is not able to read so accurately, so I'll do a negative 5.3. Okay. Next one, part 3, a lot of you left blank. Solve this equation. You notice x squared minus 5, a minus x minus 5. This is actually this one. So this one is actually the letter y. So when they say this answer, asking you to use the graph to solve this, not asking you to do mode 5 to 2. So it means y equals to the number 2. What do you need to do? You need to draw this line y equals to 2. It's a horizontal line. Cuts the y-axis at y equals to 2. And look for the points of intersection. Okay, and read the x values. In this case, there can be more than one answer. So y equals to 2, that will be this line. Oops. And y equals to 2, then we read the point of intersection, the number. Okay, that x value will be negative 2.2. My one is 3.3 and 3.2 and negative 2.2. So I have 2 answers. Negative 2.2 or 3.2. Okay. Sometimes in your equation, in your questions, right, they may not do just draw a line like that. They may give you another equation. Example, x squared minus x minus 5 equals to, let's say, x plus 1. Then this whole thing is equals to y, and this is x plus 1. Then what am I going to do? I'm going to draw x plus 1 by using a chocolate bar. Okay. And I need 3 points. Find 3 points. Okay, when it's a equation that's like that, I find any 3 points. For example, what are the values I can choose? I can choose any values for x from here to here, this region.
0.
0, easy to choose. So I'll just choose 0, 1, 2, 3 lah. Okay, usually lah, 1, 2, 1, 2. So when x is 0, 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3. Then I plot the point 0, 1. So this one, I choose any 3 x values on my own. Okay, I'm extending this question because this type of question can come out in paper 2 or paper 1 if they give you the graph already. 0, 1. When x is 0, y is 1, 0, 1. Then 1, 2, 2, 3. So I have a like that. What I'm going to do, draw the line. Please do not just draw a very short line over here. If I only have a very short line, I cannot find answers, right? I need to extend and look for point of intersection. Extend and look for point of intersection. Where is the point of intersection? Here. Then I look for the point of intersection. Oh, this number, negative 1.6. Oh, this number, oops, 3.5. Okay, then I get my two solutions. Read for the point of intersection. Okay, so this is an extension. One of your TYS question had this line instead, had a equation instead, so you can practice. All right, I think it's 2022 paper 2, paper 1 or paper 2, either one. All right. Okay, I know my time is up, but I still have some questions to finish. Let me finish first. Okay, bye, honey. All right, the temperature, median temperature, this is 23, no problem. What do you mean by the actual reading is 1 degree lesser? For Cambridge, it's 23, right? Cambridge, the answer over here, this is 23. But the actual reading is 1 degree lesser. So for 23, minus away 1 degree.
Minus 1.
Yeah, answer be 22. Quite a number of students left it blank. Okay, when I want to compare temperature colder, I'm comparing the average temperature. That means in this case, I'll compare the median. Okay, which country is colder? The median for London is 23, median for Cambridge is 22. So median for Cambridge, do not use whatever interquartile range. Interquartile range is to compare consistency, okay? Equals to 22 degrees, lesser than median for London, which is 23 degrees. So therefore, Cambridge is slightly colder. Okay. Oh, she's back. All right, this part's still okay. This simultaneous equation, just to highlight, okay, it did not end up. I anyhow randomly set the number. I didn't know that it didn't end up to be a nice number. It's a fraction. Okay. Notice I make the numbers the same, right? Same sign, subtract. So it's negative 9y minus 10y to give you negative 19. Same sign, subtract. Both of them are positive sign. Okay, then y equals to 1 over 19, and you plug into the other equation, right? You'll get a over 19 as well. So it's not that the answer question cannot be solved, it's just that it's not a nice number. Okay, for those of you who have your calculator menu 522 that type, you can use calculator menu 5151, I think 521. You can try menu 521. To check answers, you key in your x is 2, negative 3, 7, x is 3, 5, 11. Then you press equal sign, they will give you the value for your x and they'll give you the value for your y. So during exam, if you have this calculator, instead of menu 522, you press menu, I think it's menu 521. Or is it menu 5111? Okay, cannot remember. But you go and see. There is this thing called a you press menu 5 already, there's a simultaneous equation. Okay. Yeah, and then a variable is 1 or something. Or is it menu 511? I think so. Menu 511, maybe 511. Okay. Then or is it 2 variable? I cannot remember. So or is it 512? Either this combination. You go and try, right? You'll be able to see your answer straight away. Okay, next one, last question for the day. This is actually a simple question to start off with. I model after the 2021 paper 2, the one with the hemisphere. Okay, so what is down here? You notice that this one is actually similar triangles. These two triangles are actually similar. Okay, so if I have similar triangles, I want to find the x over here, the radius. I'll take the ratio. So in this case, I'll take the small over the big, which is x over 7, equals to the small, in this case, is the slant height, that will be 10, over the bigger ones, bigger slant height, which is 25. So using similar figures, similar triangles, you can find your radius x to be 2.8. Okay. Next, they say find the curved surface area of the big cone. Curved surface area of big cone, your formula shape will give you pi RL, and they want to leave it in terms of pi. So you just pi, the radius of the big cone is 7, pi 7, and the slant height for the big cone is the number 25. So I calculate these two, the number 175, but there's still pi. So answer 175 pi. The last part, volume of the big cone, they never say leave in terms of pi. So you have to use the formula. Anything sharp got the fraction wanted, pi r square. But what is the height? Okay, observe my whole cone itself is in the shape of a right angle triangle. I have my 7, I have a 25. I need to find the perpendicular height. So this perpendicular height will be, this is the shorter side. Do I add or do I subtract? We subtract, right? So it'll be 25 square minus 7 square. Any kind so can help me calculate. What is square root 25 square minus 7 square? Come on, we're ending this soon.
24.
24, exactly. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So then I'll plug in my height is 24. So this one use Pythagoras. Okay. Then after that, you calculate your everything, all the number, and round it off because there's pi. So round off to 3 significant figures. CM.
1231.50432.
Okay, so round off to 3 significant. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0. Okay, answer. Is this okay? Can? Okay, if that, then we finished our paper already. I'm in the middle of setting another mock exam paper. Will be slightly harder than this paper because this one is only a basic. So I'll send it to you all over the weekends. Okay, then for you all to try. Alright, we'll have a few more remedials. I'll try to do some of the selected questions from the trending questions that's always appearing, and I'll do the practice paper. All right. Thank you very much for attending my lesson. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Madam. Bye.
Yes, bye-bye.